Yeah, enough with the music already. Here I am, George. You know me, George Hiotis, Advanced Squad Leader with George Hiotis, Tips and Tactics. That's me. So tonight, what I'd like to do is play Scenario H, classic Scenario H. Actually, I believe it was Scenario 6, and I came with the original Squad Leader module. That is that module up there. Up there. Nope, there. There you go. Squad Leader. That's the game that started it all. I believe it was yeah, Schedule 6, and when the night rules first came out, they came out with the very beginning of Squad Leader, but they were a little bit erratic. Erratic in the sense that your night vision range could have changed from turn to turn very haphazardly. 2d6 and that's it. That's all. And now I'm from what I can see is that um, the night rules in Advanced Quality are really, really good. Um, yeah, they're subject to interpretation. There are still a lot of doubts. There's still a lot of Q&A to be had, but they're much better than the classic game. And Velikiye Luki is even more interesting when you play it with the ASL rules. So how do I play that solo? Very easy. Okay, you take off the glasses, you put on your Shanka hat, right, backwards, and then you just pull it over your eyes. If you have the board in front of you, you can't see it. That's all right. That's a night scenario for you. Not really, guys. Not really. So let's fix up the hair here. Like I said before, at work I'm known as the guy of many hats. Do a lot of different things. So this is how I'm planning to play it. First and foremost, if you saw my previous night video, I had what I did was I used these counters here. Let's zoom in. They're just blank counters. I pre-designated some fire groups, A, B, C, and D, and I'm going to use all the cloak counters as specified by the scenario. In this case, for the scenario SSR, it specifies that you get 2 cloak counters per each multi-man counter. So that makes it pretty interesting because you can use a portion of the cloaks as dummies that are not very easily lost. And another portion are real units that can escape the the uh, the Russian encirclement. So basically, what I do here, and I'm going to start a log right off the bat. So I started a log, and now what I'm going to do is, first and foremost, I can do either one. I can, yeah, no, I can't place the Russian soldiers first. So first and foremost, I'm going to cover these uh, counters, which are the counters that actually represent uh, A, B, C, and D. I'm going to mix them up. See, I'm using this to, I'm not too sure why they don't cover up like that. Oops. Well, let's cover them up like this in any case. Let's go like that. Like this. No. Dexterity issues. Cover them up and then randomize everything. So we won't know exactly where these units will be. So you can grab them like this. Well, that isn't going to help. Let's see. Grab them. Make sure you grab them at the same token, at the same time. Well, that doesn't work. I like these little counters here, but it appears that one does not go on top of the other. And can't flip them. We'll try it one more time. If not, we will try other counters. Okay, they don't seem to work. So what I'm going to revert to is ordinary blank counters like I did before. I seem to like these because they're nice. They have an ethnicity symbol. We'll see what we can do. Okay, so we quickly recovered from that. And now I can grab both and randomize them. to the best of my ability. So ultimately, I will not know which real units are under which cloak counter when everything is said and done. Sometimes it's better to move them in a tight group, but make sure you don't overlap each other, because if you do, then you might not be able to grab them as easily. So mix them up to the best of your ability, and then you're going to put these counters under a random cloak. And I find using this method better than using the Sassel counters, because the Sassel counters can provide you with random letters in excess of your OB. So letters higher than J. So now once you're comfortable that they have been randomized, you're pretty cool, you're pretty good. So you're going to start putting each one underneath a cloak counter. And when a cloak is uncloaked, you'll reveal what's underneath, um, which letters underneath the cloak, and it might be a dummy. It might be one of the 4 fire groups that you selected. And the way I selected the fireworks, yeah, the uh, the the units is I put my under my best leader a total of 14 firepower factors, and these fellows can all fire in the advancing fire phase because they don't have MMGs. They have LMGs. I can use the leadership modifier, and my lowest attack at any given point in time will be a 6 down 2 plus the temp. Um, Whereas if I put, in this case, my best leader with my best LMG, it'll, well, which there is no MMGs, but if I did, in this case, if you're on the attack, an MMG will not serve a unit well in the advancing fire phase, as well as 2 LMGs. So with 2 LMGs, you have the same firepower factors, um, 4 in total, but you can use them in the advancing fire phase, whereas the MMG you can't. So that's how it works. Now the real test is, I have to set up the um, the Germans before I know where the Russians will be. And for the Russians, as you can see, I have placed these counters, which I made using labels and line numbers. So basically, if I roll a 2d6 and I get a 1 to 4, he'll be situated in 05, 3 November 2 with a 5, 8, and 3 Q7 for a 9 to 12 and a 2d6. But I don't know exactly, as the German player, where the Russians are situated, and I'm going to have to pre-designate their entry points. So this is what you can do. You can, as the German player, you can go with 2 diversionary attacks and go up the middle, or you can put everybody to one flank or the other. It all depends on the Russian setup. But in this case, what I'm going to do is I have 3, 6, 3, 6, 9, 10 counters. So I'm going to put what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 3 in the middle, and I'm going to put 5 here. And remember, you do not roll for straying if they're off board. You only roll straying for once they're on board. 1, 2, 3. There you go. And 3 at the other end. And the other thing I learned was that cloaks do not pay extra movement points for moving in in concealment rate at night. It's only when they um, uh, uncloak that they pay the extra wound points. So now at this point, I do not know where my Russian units are, but I have to be committed to this setup, which I find a little bit bothersome because I forgot to put a couple of units in the middle. Okay, so I'll put some units in the middle as well. A, B, C, D, E, F come in the middle. They move a straight 6, and then um, let's move them a little bit apart from one another. There you go. Remove the moves. So that's how the cookie crumbles. So now let's set up with, so we're going to have to commit to the setup. We cannot change it after the Russian player has set up. So let's see where this fellow is going to be situated. And this fellow is Dotsky with an MMG and a 447. He will have a no move marker. And I rolled a 7. And 7 means he will be in 3 November 2, which is up here. Okay, I'm going to put a no move counter, but not before I put him on a second level. That you're allowed doing. Right. Higher. Put a no move. And put your units there. Let's once we've finished setting him up, we'll put him underneath a concealment marker to remind us that if we so desires to fire at him, it'll be at half firepower. Okay, second unit will be Simonov, LMG, and a 447. Let's roll a 2d6. And the dice have determined that he'll be in 2J4. 2J4 is up there. Woo! So right off the bat, I think we got both flanks covered. And I like playing this way because it's never the same game twice. And you pay after you've done the setup, you play to the best of your ability. Now at this point in time, I know where everybody is. Um, there's no hip units, there's no dummy units, but in setting up, I am double blinded because first and foremost, I did not know when I did the setup where the Soviet player will be, and I still do not know under which cloak my units are. So there is a fog of war sufficient to compensate for the lack of concealment and hip for the defender. All right, let's roll here, and another 10 that puts him in 3cc 5, 3cc5, which is right over here. Put another no move. And conceal, just like so. This unit here, let's roll 2d6. 7, it's 305. 3 Oscar 5. Oh, right there. So put no move. Save that counter for another day. This is just a lonely 447. We roll another 10, and that's 2F2. Two F2. Oh, up here. Oh boy. Next unit, I rolled a 6. 6 means that he'll be in 3I8. 3I8. If luck is on my side, I might get to right here. And unfortunately, I have set up a unit close to where that cloak counter is. 3I8. He's concealed. Let's put that counter back. Clean up. And here we roll a 9. 9 is 3T1. Put him under no move counter. So the object of the game here is to win is the victory condition. The Germans win immediately by exiting 8 VP or more off the west edge, which is up here, which is very interesting. Let's roll some more here. We got a 9, and a 9 is 3C4. Come on, dude. Go there. And conceal this dude as well. Now, the important thing to know is we have 9.5 turns, so we shouldn't be reckless. 3D, no, whatever. What's underneath here? Nothing. May have forgotten to do anything there. Alright, here. That's a 4, which is 2U4. 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 There. We conceal him as well. Let's do this unit. 11. 3E7. Oh well. Let's work on him. 12. Boxcars. 3R1. Let's put a 3R1 there. Here. 4. 2D6. Well, let's see how the system of playing solo this way will work for scenario H. There we go. And this fellow here, point 10. 3H3. Why did I put him there? No, 2H3. Oh, there. That makes sense. Let's remove all the moves. We got one more? No unit underneath there. Something strange could have happened. Okay. Remember, uh, this fire group is not necessarily under a G. This one's not necessarily under a H, nor I, nor J. It can be anywhere. Let's zoom out and see what happened. So we have a way to go about it, to go out, I believe, more or less. But the side roads are covered by SSR going up and down the slope because of ground snow is a +1 to the movement factors. But the way I see it is you don't double that movement factor uh, when you're using ground snow. Um, this is going to be a little bit challenging, so we'll see what happens. Anyway, let's get the ball running, but not before we put our snipers on the board. So the German sniper will go here, maybe here, there. I think that would qualify. And the Russian sniper will go anywhere. So we'll just put him here for now because we're starting off the board. So the first thing that we need to do is roll for NVR. That's it, guys. We're rolling now like champs. 6-3. I don't think it will do it. You need, maybe. Let's take a look at the rulebook one more time. 6-3 with the NVR. It might lower the NVR by 1. Yeah, lowers the NVR by 1. Exactly. So let's lower it by 1. So now we got NVR 5. Uh, lower. Okay. Um, nothing else to do. So we'll start moving and we'll move. I think this is, well, let's move this fellow here. 1 to there, non-assault movement. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4. Um, that's as good as a chance as I'm going to get. It's in my NVR range, but I'm still halved because, and it's not assault movement um, because he's cloaked. So that shot will be 2 firepower factors, -1 for first fire non-assault movement, and it should be first fire um, moving in the open, +1 for the light hindrance. So it will be a 2 down 1. Well, that is absolutely peanuts, but he does leave 1 residual there. And we marked him with a first fire gun flash. He did not see a real unit, so he's not free to move. And I said 1 to there, 2 to here. Now he can, I was 1, 2, 3, 4 hexes away. And now he's 1, 2, 3, 4 hexes away. I can do a 1 down 1, I suppose. Not that it's going to be worth anything. Let's do it. 6 on the 1, I believe, is a miss. Let's double check. Yep. So he final fired. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4, 5, 5 to there. Now he can't fire, so I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and now he can see me. We're in within NVR range. So at this point, what we got is a 2. The LV cannot be combined by with a 10. So a 2 even shot. -1 for non-assault movement, +1 for the woods. 2 even. 7 on the 2 is nothing. So now we leave 1 residual there. And he first fired. So we went 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6 to there. Now the other fellow is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to there. That was uneventful. I think these fellows are going to have it easy. Now he has an NVR 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're pretty good. We're pretty good. We're going to be moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm pretty sure it's outside of his LVR and in a blind hex. And again here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. No road bonus. Sorry, guys. All right, here we're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should we stop right there? Yeah, because if I route him here will be his closest cover, and he will route forward. So what we're going to do is fire there, and there's no point in using the LMG because the firepower will not be more than 2. We might be able to get a rate, but let's fire the inherent firepower 2, down 1. So 6 on the 2. 6 on the 2 is a PTC. Now we have to reveal what's underneath cloak counter G, as in George. So this is ultimately a dummy. So he fired a dummy. This boy goes here, and he first fired his inherent firepower. Okie dokie. I'll go with this fellow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. He can't see me, and he's not free to move because he did not see a real unit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Here we'll move 1. Just an NVR range. He'll take a 2 down 1 using the LMG. Nothing. So he completely first fired. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I think we're going to get past this dude relatively easy.
Oh,
We'll see. Hey, Mike, what's up?
I just realized my lost and everything's in the shopping cart.
No worries. We'll get it soon. That was my son Michael. Full-time dad. And here we go. So basically that was movement. Very uneventful the first turn, despite some shots being fired. All right, let's turn the wheel. You keep forgetting to turn the wheel. The defensive fire, I don't think there is any. Advancing fire, none. You don't want to fire as the attacker. You don't want to be the first attacker uh, to be on the attack, because then all sorts of things precipitate, as in firing the star shells. Speaking of star shells, we'll take a look at that rule in depth because, yeah, uh, you don't necessarily have to fire to get the star shells started. It's just one of the units has to see a real unit. That's how the cookie crumbles. Um, so we got rid of the residuals, or I hope I did. Let's get rid of them. And let's get rid of the moves here. There's not going to be an advancing fire phase. Let's get rid of, go to the route phase and get rid of all prep and death fire. Good stuff. And now let's go to advance phase. And basically what's going to happen here is cloak A will advance to here. Cloak B will advance to there. Cloak C will advance to here. And then let's move these guys up. Easy breezy. And we advanced. So close combat and concealment gains. I don't think we have any. Um, so now I took some time to do an incremental save, so I know where I'm at. And we'll turn it to, let's put that there. That's been done. Now we'll turn it to the Soviet player, put on our Yushanka hats here. Somewhere around there is Dotsky. We know where Dotsky is, but we're going to try and avoid Dotsky if we can. All right, put on the Yushanka. And now it's back to rally phase. Allied turn 1. Let's roll for NVR change. There we go again, 6-4. Oh, I think 6-4 is neutral. But look, every time I play night scenarios, I have NVR change. It's probably because I'm criticizing the classic rules. Well, 6-5 raises it. 6-4 is neutral. All right, no NVR change, no other rallies, no wall advantage. Let's go to prep fire. Can you see anybody? Well, this dude here says he's that guy. It's plain and simple. He's out in the open, so he gets +1 uh, to. He gets a +1 for night vision. He's firing out of the woods with NVR. So at this point, he has a 6. He's not going to use the light machine gun because the light machine gun breaks with a roll of 11. And his inherent firepower, if he uses the inherent firepower alone, it will be a 2 firepower factor attack with a +1 detriment because of night vision. And also there's snow rules, and with snow rules at a range of 8 or more, because both units are assumed to have uh, camouflage, there's another +1. Enjoy, guys. Perrier. Ned. All right. So let's roll it. Let's see what happens. Too high. He prep fired. Is there any other attacks we can make? I don't think so. So let's roll it back to movement phase. Nobody's free to move. Nobody saw a real unit. And after the first attack by the attacker, the best order leader can roll for freedom of movement by rolling a 3 in this case, because the allied ELR is 3. It's a 1d6. Next turn is defensive fire phase. Of course I'm not going to attack. I'm cloaked. And then advancing fire phase, nothing. Rout phase, nothing. Advanced phase, nothing. Close combat, nothing. And that was easy breezy. I did my incremental save. On to German player turn number 2. Rally phase. Oh, rally phase. Let's do a 2d6 for night visibility range. 5-2. There's nothing to it now. Now's when the straying rolls begin. And the units on the far right will have to roll for straying, and the units in the center and the units on the far left will have to roll for straying. The units in the center and far right, these units here, are adjacent to road hexes, so they're good. So with which ones are we going to start first? Let's go to prep, nothing, and movement. All right, and remember our NVR range is 5, so at the moment, for these guys to pass the German lines, they only have to get past to this dude, and this dude is a lonely 447. Now that I've said that, chances are I'm going to jig myself. Get the Shanka off. Actually, I should leave it on because I can pretend to be a Russian guy, although I'm playing the German player. Deceive the opponent. All right, so we got Unit B here, Cloak. They got to roll for straying, and I think I need a 6-5 or 6-11 to go for straying because these guys are stealthy. All right, so let's do that. Straying, close but no cigar. So Unit B does not stray. He's going to go 1 and bypass. 2. Now the Russian player sees that he will be going trying to avoid him. He has clear line of sight there. He's going to reveal himself. Oh, by the way, this guy had to conceal. This guy could have concealed as well. Even though he's in the open, um, night rules are a bit different with respect to concealment. So he sees this dude. They're 3 hexes away. NVR is 5. This guy can't see diddly. So he'll take a 2, -1 for non-assault movement, -2 for moving in the open, and +1 for NVR. So a 2 down 1. Let's do that again. 4 and the 2, I'm afraid is something. 4 and the 2 is a 1 morale check. And let's see if he revealed a real unit. Let's see. Oh, C. C is a real unit. So how do we do this? We just put this guy on the bottom. And we are going to put Ul there. And put this guy back here. And now he has to pass a 1 morale check. He first fired. Right, so he needs 7 or less. Breaks. And now the 467 needs a 6 or less. He breaks. So I rolled a 8. The ELR is 4, so I'm good with respect to ELR. But they broke, which is a bummer. And now there's 1 residual in there. Are we going to risk it for the biscuit? I think we should. So let's roll for straying. Nope. 2 to there. 3. Now he'll take a 1 down 1 attack. 5 on the 1. There's a pin task check. Let's see if we have a real unit down there. And guess what? There's dollar. But only with a pin task check. So let's see what happens. Leader passes. With a task check now, 2 units need a 9. So only one of the 2 units pinned. Since they're both the same, I'm just going to put the pin counter on the bottom rather than start shuffling everybody. He final fired. He'll take a string die roll. Nope. 2, 4, 5, 6. He can final protective fire, and he's free to move now because he saw a real unit, 2 real units. Final protective fire means he will fire at a 4, no 2, and it will be a 2 down 1. And it will be a morale check on him. He cannot afford to break, so he will not fire. That's how the cookie crumbles. So these guys are somewhere out there. Oh geez, I need a drink. He stopped there. They're on the road, so they'll move, and we'll move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 to there, 2 to there. He'll take a shot. 2 down 1. Oh, we missed an allied sign. Ah, 8.2. Alright, so from there to there, does he have a shot? Clean as a whistle. 2 down 1. 3 on the 2. One morale check. Let's see what's under E. It's a dummy. Okay. He first fired. Let's move unit F. 1, 2. Ooh. There's 1 residual there. 2. 5. +1 for going uphill. And doubled. 2 double +1 for going uphill. So 1, 2, 5, 6. He'll hold his fire. I don't think he can fire at him. Well, there is no closer unit at there. And he's at 1, 2, 3, 4 hex range. And he would be a 1, um, 1 up, up 1 for LV and up 1 for height advantage. So that ain't cool. Okay. This unit will go 1, 2, 5, 6 as well. This unit will move 1 to there, and he'll fire. Oh, he can't fire. Prep fired. Maybe it's my turn. He shouldn't be under prep fire. Okay. So now it'll be a 2, using the light. So inherit firepower. A 2, um, down 1. So all of a sudden, I get all these good rolls. And I'm a bit amazed. Jeez. So we rolled a 4 on the 2, which is a 1 check. A 1 check on cloak counter H. So he's a dummy too. However, we do get 1 residual in there, and H comes off the board. Next, we'll go here, 1. He can final fire, so you'll do a 1 down 1. Broke the LMG, mouthed it, and he first fired. There. Okay. So we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he will go 3, 4, 5, 6, bypassing the building. 7, 8. Does he have line of sight to there? NVR range is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's good. And we're good. Okay. So I think we're making some good progress. Yeah. How many points do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And another squad needs to uh, dash away, and we're going to be good. Okie dokie. Let's turn the wheel to defensive fire. He's on final fire, so we're good. He's under first fire, nobody adjacent. So let's go to advancing fire. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to advance fire here. So 1 unit is under pin, so that unit would be quartered. The other unit would be halved and waltz as a -2. So we got 7 quartered plus 3.5. 7 times 0.25 equals 1.75 plus 3.5 is 5. So that would go down to 4. 4 down 1. Let's do a 4 down 1. Damn! Why does this happen to me? Jeez. Nothing there. And he broke up the most important fire group. Should have removed all residuals. So I don't see any more advancing fire. Let's go to route. Let's remove all moves, clean up the board, prep, and def. And route. These guys need to low crawl. Uh, they can't see anybody else, so they'll low crawl into the woods. And there's no more other routes. So let's go to advanced phase. Advanced phase. These cloaks are going to go here. This fellow is going to go What am I doing? This is clearly the way to go, but okay, so we'll go with J being here, I going here, and these guys already moved. And Coke C will go there, and Waltz is going to go like this. The other unit is pinned. I think technically this guy can see this fellow's here, but the MMG is a range of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that MMG would have to be quartered, uh, which would be a 1 firepower attack. Um, would have to be quartered because it's outside of the normal range plus outside of the LV, and they can only fire if I fire at them and they can see each other. A 1 attack. Imagine that. Okay, advancing fire is over. Close combat. There isn't any. I can move all moves. Let's take an incremental save. We did an incremental save, and we advanced it. We have to watch out for our sands here. See a lot of sand checks. Okay, let's roll for NVR again. Nothing. No wind change, no NVR. Let's take off the Ushaka hat. It's pretty warm here. Spring is around the corner. All right, 52 minutes of recording. What the heck? Um, Rally phase is over. In terms of prep fire, this guy did not see an actual unit, but he can try and repair his LMG or ultimately destroy it. We'll just put it down here. So he can't move. This guy can move, uh, and he can choose to prep fire or duck under cover. I think he'll fire. And instead of firing in the cloak unit, he'll do a 4-up 1 on Waltz. I should have removed all pins already. Oh, geez, I also have a unit to rally. Remove all pins. Okay, I have a unit to rally. Here we go. Leader needs a 4. It's 2 of them. And he rolled under his printed morale, so his DM counter comes off, which is great. Now I have a choice. I can go for this unit, I can try and attack him, or try to DM him. And my greatest threat, I'm going to have to go after my greatest threat with a 4-up 1 attack. Let's do that. 7, 8 on the 4 is absolutely nothing. Missed by 1. So he prep fired. He prep fired. Nobody else can move. Nobody else can see anybody, I don't believe. And if they can, they're outside of the NVR. So we can go to movement phase, which there won't be none. Defensive fire. Waltz is going to fire back, like so. So that would be 6 down 1 attack. All right. So let's do a 6 down 1 attack. IFT. 4 on the 6. That's a bad one. So 1 morale check. So he rolled a 10. His ELR is 3, so he breaks but does not ELR. Now he's marked with a final fire. Yep. He does not choose to attack for one reason or another. So we're good. Advancing fire. Now he's marked with an attack. And I think now what happens is that these guys can start rolling for star shells over here. So in terms of star shells, there are three conditions that can be met in order to um, what? In order to initiate star shells, firing star shells. So friendly force has no motorized vehicle on board. An enemy motorized vehicle changes its hex or its VCA within 16 hexes of a friendly unit that is currently capable of firing a star shell. Number two, a friendly unit currently capable of firing a star shell or spotting uh, a firer has lost to an enemy unit and fires a star shell, or a gun flash is placed due to an enemy FFE or an attack versus an enemy unit. What can I say? Should I take that to mean that I am capable of doing a star shell attack? I don't know. What I do know is this guy's outside of the NVR. His NVR. He sees a gun flash out in the distance, but it's outside of the NVR and advancing fire phase. So there's no point in firing that machine gun. There's greater chance of just breaking it. So on to route phase. This guy can route and he can low crawl anywhere except up a cliff. So he can go. He can low crawl to here. Okay. You should have removed all moves and all prep and death fire. There you go. And now what do we do? What we're going to do is go to the advanced phase, and there's nobody that can advance. We can advance, go to close combat, and these boys can ultimately conceal. If I couldn't conceal them before, there you go. And let's save turn to B. That was a fast turn. Save map as PNG file. And I swear to God, if I didn't do incremental saves, I would have mixed up the turns. Because you're not dealing with a live opponent, and you won't object to yourself missing a turn, depending on which side you're playing. Could happen. All right, now we advance to German turn 3. German turn 3, roll for NVR, nothing. And now we can try and rally him. 8, which means he rallied. Okay, good. And actually, the other fellow should have been under DM. I removed one DM, but he never actually rolled anything less than his. He never got an opportunity to roll anything less than his actual morale. So, because the leader didn't rally, so it's a 3, 4, 5 or less because he's under REM. Is that heat of battle? DR follows any original 2MC rally DR. Yep, it is. So he was broken. That's a +1. And I think that's all there is to it. All right, so let's roll a 2d6. He rolls a 3, 4, which is hero creation. That helps. So I wonder if a hero counts for 1 VP or 2 VPs, because he does have a -1 DRM. So let's get a hero from the Axis counters. Axis OB, single man counter. There's Steiner. And he's up. It's because, let's do some maintenance here. And let's rename him Steiner. Geez, you never know what's going to happen with this game. He's still under DM. He cannot self-rally. And until he rolls under his printed morale, he'll remain under DM. All right. This looks encouraging, so I'm going to start with the left flank. All righty, let's go. Rally phase is over. Prep. We're not going to prep. Movement. Cloak. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to there. At this juncture, these guys can go CX. So they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. These guys are going to go under CX. Cloak is never under a CX, so we're going to just put that guy above the CX. He's going to go double time, not CX. Ooh, geez, I forgot to roll for Stray. First for the Cloak, and then for the Waltzer. Okay, now let's go 1, 2, 3. Roll for Strain. Actually, oh geez. There was Strain, and these guys had to pay 3 to get in there. So that was 1. And so we'll move him back 1 movement point. Except the Cloak, because the Cloaks don't pay the extra point to go into the woods. So we rolled for strength for this guy ultimately. So we went 1 plus 3 is 4, 5, and 6. He doesn't have to roll for strength until he gets to there. And he's under a leader. Boink. There's the leader. Double time. 1, 2, 5. Roll for strain. Nope. 6, 7, and 8. I think they're home free. Okie dokie. Now on the other side of the board, what are we going to do? We're going to move this guy first. That's easy. 2, 4, and 6 to there. Those are my sons playing Rainbow Six Siege. And by the way, I recently volunteered at the high school science fair for doing a little task in the morning. I got this great T-shirt sponsored by Hydro-Quebec, our utility. It's great to see our high school kids really bright and brilliant, coming up with great ideas. Drones, automated machines to mow your lawn and scoop up garbage, AI. Now, what we're going to do is this J counter. Is it J or I? It's I. I definitely don't want to provoke these guys. So let's move what's easy. And this fellow now can fire there. Would be a 2 up 1 attack. No LV in this case, so we'll take it and see if there's a real unit there. 2 up 1. Great. Final fired. No residuals. How about this guy? Can he see there? He might touch the woods here, but he's at level 3. Could have seen him there. Um, Too late. Let's reveal him and fire. Take a line of sight check. Yeah, the woods got him. He fires using the LMG for rate. No rate. He first fired. Okay. Now the rest of the guys are going to follow. They're going to go two to there because they're going down slope, ground snow. 2, 3, 4, 5, and he stays there. And again, they're moving adjacent to the road, so I don't think that's straying. 2, 3, 4, 5 to there. And what is this guy going to do? He's going to assault move to there. I think I have the game won, but we'll see. If these guys manage to move off the board, I'll have enough movement points. Unless these guys get freedom of movement somehow. And freedom of movement, let's not forget that rule. Let's not forget that rule because I might quickly forget it. So each onboard unit, blah, blah, blah. Let's take a look. Okay, scenario attacker has resolved any attack other than successful ambush. The scenario defender's single best leader, okay, uh, if necessary, yep, can gain freedom of movement. So starting this player turn 4, since I'd resolved an attack over there, um, the, the Lieutenant Dotsky can roll for freedom of movement. So I gotta really move my butt. The way I won, I played with Dennis twice. We both won as the Soviets. I lost as the Germans because basically Dotsky got the beat on me, and I stumbled into him. And the way I won against Dennis playing the Russians again, we both won as the Russians, is I basically got freedom of movement because certain attacks were resolved, and I was able to roll for freedom of movement. Dotsky abandoned his MMG because it's 5 portage points. He doesn't need a lead anchor around his neck. Ran for it, dashed for it, and lo and behold, one of the stacks was forgotten to be moved by my opponent. I got into position, interdicted him with a flanking attack, and were it not for that, I would have lost miserably. And Dennis did manage to move more German units off the board than I did. Small AR. All right. So we resolved all the movement, defensive fire, uh, not much or nothing at all. So let's go to advancing fire phase, which it's not going to be anything. Route phase, let's remove all moves, let's remove all prep, residuals, and def fire. I got nothing to route. The Russian player can actually route back into the woods. He doesn't see anybody on the other side. And that's all she wrote, but we have to remember this guy here will have to roll for freedom of movement. Advanced phase, J will, let's see who we have left. We have a 9-1 leader and a D and a lonely squad left. So J will move to there, F will move to here, D will move to there, and J will move to there. Because he doesn't want to run the gauntlet. Okay? Or I, rather. I. On this side of the board, do not forget those boys. They're going to be the key to victory. So here they are advancing. And let's go to close combat, remove all moves. And these boys get to conceal now, because nobody can see them. I advanced too quickly. I should have put him under a leader. But let's see what we got here. We got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's my winning stack right there. Um, all right. So let's do an incremental save and go to player turn number 3. Pretty good. Let's go on to Russian turn 3. Roll for NVR. Nothing. Rally. We can try and self-rally him. All right. He needs, I believe, a 3. Nope. And his DM stays on because I rolled higher than his printed morale. Prep fire. Now we have the option to prep fire here and to prep fire there. So we'll do a 4-up one. 6, 7 on the 4. 7 on the 4. It's a pin toss check. He prep fired. One's underneath J. J's G. So he's a dummy. He comes off. Oops. There you go. Alright, so now we'll fire from here to there. And that should be clear line of sight. Range of 5, that's good. So we'll do a 2 up 1. Because it's cloaked. 2 up 1. Nothing. And he prep fired. Now, do I want to fire back? Not necessarily. What I do want to do is roll for freedom of movement. 1d6, I need a 3. He does not get it. Movement phase, defensive fire, none. Technically, I could have fired there if I had line of sight, but no. Advancing fire, none. Route phase, none. Advance phase, whoever saw actual unit is broken, so we're good for now. Removed all moves, remove all prep, death fire. There you go. Close combat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not sure if these guys can conceal, since there are known enemy units there. So let's put that aside and go on to German player number 4. Yeah, so we'll do the incremental save again. Yeah, a little technical glitch there. You saw my Discord app. But basically what I wanted to do is put a prep fire on him because he jitter fired. I rolled boxcars. Now, just because he rolled boxcars doesn't mean you should lose hope. So, as I was saying, you can see I've edited this video a lot. More or less I pressed the pause button like you wouldn't believe. Alright, just because this fellow jitter fired, he's stuck there, he fired, don't lose hope, because you can't forget about these guys. They might be a key to victory as well. So at this point, I'm going to send them on their merry way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to non-assault move to there for 2. And he can fire at me at 4 even. +1 for the woods, -1 for non-assault movement. So he will. 4 even shot. 6 on the 4. 6 on the 4. Is a normal morale check, so they have to reveal themselves. Who's under F? A dummy. So F comes off the board. We rolled the allied sound as the allies. So I'm forgetting the sounds. Geez. A, B, C, D, E, F. So this fellow fired there. A 4 even shot, so we got 2 residuals. And he first fired. This fellow here will go non-assault movement, 2 to there. Um, you can subsequently first fire, final fire there because there's nobody closer to him. So it would be a 2 even shot. So we'll take it. Nothing. He final fired. He final fired. There you go. Should there be? No, it was quartered. 2 even. Yeah. Was it quartered? Yeah, because it was marked under first fire. Yeah, it was quartered. So there's nothing there. Could be wrong. 2, 3, 3 plus 3 to go up there is 6. There goes nothing. 2, 4, 6. I don't roll for jitter or for strain because I'm adjacent to a road. I'm good over there. I'm kind of good over there. So now let's go on to, let's reduce that. Let's go to defensive fire. Uh, this guy here might be able to see the gun flashes, and perhaps not. This guy definitely should be able to see gun flashes, but we can only fire 8 hexes away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Out of range. This fellow can fire there. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would be quartered. So I'd 1 up 1. Oh, let's do it just for the shits and giggles. Let's see. Yeah. I didn't see that happen, man. I just didn't see that happen. Alright. Let's remove residuals. Defensive fire is over. I could have rolled for. I think now I could have rolled for. Uh, I could have rolled for gun star shells, but yeah, I don't think it would have made a difference here. Okay, advancing fire, nothing. Rogue phase, nothing. Let's remove all moves and prep fire and defensive fire. We're all gone. Advance. 1, 2. There's nothing preventing me from advancing there. He will advance to here. Cloaked unit will advance to there. This fellow will advance to here. These guys, remember, do not see a real unit, nor did this guy, so they're not free to move unless this guy pops a 3 on a 1d6. Okay, close combat, none. We can remove all moves and save the 4th game, the 4th turn. So we did our incremental save. 4A, here comes 4B. And we have to roll for NVR. Wow, here it comes. Hey, Mike, Mike, come on, buddy, turn off the guitar. What do you mean? When are you going to practice for your recital? At night, when the neighbors are not awake. He has an old soul. He likes old songs, has a little strat. Likes to practice a lot. That's not so bad. Um, I don't think you guys barely heard the music, so that's all right. So did we roll for NVR? We did. We rolled an 8. Okay, rally phase. We can try and self-rally this dude here, and he's free to move. So we got to be something to be afraid of. All right, so free to move. Let's roll for his rally attempt. 7 just removes the DM. We need a 3. Let's go to prep fire. He cannot see him, but he can see him. So 2 up 2. 6. That's the allied sign. I paid attention to that now. Okay. So I'm rolling as the allies. The allied sign doesn't matter. And we said that was a 2 up 2, and we rolled a. Forget about it. Ain't gonna happen. He's marked under prep. He cannot see him. I cannot see him. And now there's a couple of dummy units on the board. Let's go to movement phase. Will he roll a 3? He rolls a 3. He's no longer under a no move counter. And this boy will drop the LMG. Drop the LMG. Here comes the dexterity issues. Go up like that. Keep him under the concealment counter. And the question is, if you're inside a building, do you still pay for the concealment terrain um, concealment terrain uh, detriment? So that's rule echo 1.51. On foot, infantry, cavalry, excluding infantry represented by a cloaking counter. Good. During a night scenario, must pay an additional movement factor after all modifications per each concealment terrain location entered, excluding if crossing a road hex side or using bypassing an open ground hex of an obstacle. Bocage does not make a location concealment terrain for its purposes. What? Or okay. In addition, if such a unit's NVR is 0, it may not use double time, road bonus, or gallop. Great. How does that answer my question? So ordinarily, he would need, let's say, for all intents and purposes, uh, inside a building, the lights are out, we're in the middle of a war situation, he's going to pay 2 to get down the staircase. Is he next to, he can't stray from inside a building. All right, 2 to go down. 3, 4, everybody, 3, 4 to there. Oh, no. So 1, 2 across, 3, 4 down, because there's a staircase here. So 1, 2 across, 3, 4 down, 5, 6 to there. And he left the LMG alone. Okay. Defensive fire, nothing. Advancing fire, nothing. Road phase, absolutely nothing. Advance phase, we'll go up the hill. And he's going to start chasing Waltz and Wool. Okay. These guys were marked with a advancing fire phase. All right, so close combat, none. Can somebody conceal? This time, nobody can see him, so he's concealed. All right, good stuff. And let's do our incremental save. That was 4B. So there's a couple of interesting things to note because we're playing night rules and there's straying involved. And with straying, since you've got stealthy units, you got a situation where uh, they can only stray with an 11 or a 12, with 6 being the colored die. So if you roll an 11, it's not straying because you're not rolling double, so you're good. But actually, you're not that good because then you end up having to stray and stray big time. But with 12, The only consequence is that you jitter fire, your mark with a prep fire counter, and what that means is that if you are outside of the LVR range but within firing range, your defender can fire at you at half firepower. So that's more or less the detriment that can occur. All right, so let's go on to German turn 5. Rally phase. Let's roll for NVR, nothing. And let's go to prep fire. That's nothing. We're not going to prep fire. And let's go to movement. This guy will attempt not to stray. So let's roll. Nope, that's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 to there. Okay. This unit will attempt to move. Roll for straying. Great. And they're going to go double time. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8 to there. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8 at least. Double time. Let's declare double time and roll. No straying. Awesome. CX. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to there. Now they're going to try and roll. No straying this time. Double time. We're going to go 1, 4, 5, and 6 to there. Now these boys are going to try and get away with the laundry. So 3 to there, 4. He might be able to see him. NVR range 4. 5. And this guy definitely sees him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but they're outside NVR. Alright, so this guy sees him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, probably doesn't. Let's take an LOS check and see. Let's take an LOS check and see. Oh, he does. Range of 5. So he's quartered 1, up 1. No, 1 even. 3 on the 1. 3 on the 1 is a 1 check. 1's under D. The dummy. F. There's no F. Darn it. So he first fired. Which means this thing, or that baby up there, is a real unit. He first fired, put it there. This guy comes off the board. A, B, C, D, D, E, F. There you go. Right. Good to know. Alright, this fellow will go. He should have rolled for straying, but doesn't matter now. I forgot. What the heck. Alright. 1, 2, 2 plus 3 is 5. And that's all he can go. One of these two units are real units. Oh geez. I'd rather go in this direction than that direction because I know there's an LMG there. Well, this guy here could very well have seen this guy. We'll see. Defensive fire, none. And this is going to be more or less the game. Advancing fire, none. Road phase, let's remove all moves. Let's remove all fire, prep, and def. We're good. Advance phase. This is great. Advances next to a road. Advances here. Advances there. Advances everywhere. And this guy can go up the hill. He'll go here. Alright, close combat. Remove all moves. Concealment gain, got none. Let's do an incremental save. Let's go to Russian turn 5. Russian turn 5, self rally here, needs a 7. Rolls an 8. What do you know? He didn't see a real unit, so he's not marked with a freedom to move. Prep fire? None. Movement? If he'll start moving, he'll try and reach these guys. So he'll go 1, 2, 3, 6. And it would cost another 3 movement points to go up there, so no can do. Defensive fire, none. Advancing fire, none. Road phase, none. Advance phase, let's remove all moves. He will advance to there. This unit is free to move. That's a cliff, darn it. Get off that mountain and it'll cost them some juicy points. So let's go to close combat. There isn't any, and it's another uneventful turn. What did we roll for NVR? No, no change. Alright, we'll save this turn as well and go to 6A. So let's roll the wheel, advance it to 6A, roll for NVR. That's weather. Alright, no NVR change, but weather. Roll 4. A 4 is just wind direction. You need a 5 or a 6 to get actual wind. Alright, so rally, he cannot self-rally. Prep, I don't have any. Let's go to movement. So this fellow is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, rolls for straying, and 6. So if C is a real unit, we're good. These guys will have to roll for straying. Oh, no, not yet. Okay, so they, not yet, but they will lose their double time CX status, and they'll go 1, 2, 3, rolls for straying, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's pretty good. They'll lose their CX status, roll for straying. We're good. And we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to there. And I think we would have the game if C, we would have the game, I think, very shortly. We'll make an evaluation of that. 6 here. Let's roll for straying, no straying, lose their CX status. And I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. And just for the fill in the blank and giggles, we'll roll here and we'll go for straying. None. 1 to there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got a 4. Actually, they would be quartered. A quarter of 8, I believe, is 2. and uh, a 2 even? No, hold on 1 second. There's a 2. You got a -1 leader DRM, a +1 for night vision. Okay, let's do that again. So we got a 2 firepower factors, non-assault movement -1, moving in the open -1, and then +1 for LV, -1 for the leader. So we got a 2 down 2. I'll take that shot. 7 on a 2. Missed by 1. They first fired. I'm concealed. Alrighty. And we leave 1 residuals there. Yeah, I did roll for straying. Alright, so that was 1. This is 4 to there. 1 plus 3. 2 to move uphill plus 1 for these for the uh, ground snow. So we've got 1, 4, and 5, 6 to there. Okay. Defensive fire, that's over. Advancing fire, nothing. And route phase, nothing. We can take off the moves and prep and death fire. And I think we can pretty much stop the game here and assess whether we have enough victory points to win, because there's no way that Dotsky can gain enough freedom of movement to impede these fellows here. And we have at least 2 known stacks that have the required victory points in them. They got 2 uh, 2 there, plus 3 for Waltz is 5, and then 6, 7 for Uhl, 8, 9 with the other um, squad, and 1 or 2 for Steiner. So I think we can say that the Germans won this one, and in part they were lucky. And let's see who was under C. So if we remove C here from down, C was in fact a real unit, and it was D. Boink. And I was B. Jeez. Wow, so we had real units in this stack and that stack. We got to call this one a German victory. But overall, the Russians, I think the Russian setup was enough to really do damage had they had enough firepower at the right locations, or if they had a lucky roll, like what you saw there before. There was an entire stack of units, 1 multi-man counter and 1 single-man counter that broke, but they recovered real quickly. This guy was not able to recover at all. Dotsky was able to gain some freedom of movement. It may have been a turn or 2 late, but really interesting. And I guess if you play it with this little system in play, um, double blinded more or less, um, it turns out to be a very interesting game. But I highly recommend that you play with an opponent either at your level or above, and playing with an opponent, and of course doing some rulebook dives if you have the time. You will definitely sharpen your skills not only in tactics but also with night rules and other specialized rules. And like I said before, many times before, don't let anybody discourage you from playing. If I can do it, you can do it, right? And if you don't play, you won't learn. That's the bottom line. You can read the rules as many times as you want. The only way to reinforce the rules is to play, and play either casually or competitively. Maybe both of the two, but playing certainly is an essential element to learning. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I got an hour and 40 minutes of recording. Sorry for any interruptions. It's really hectic being a single dad, and Perry does help from time to time. So does coffee. Enjoy and have a great week ahead. Uh, I'm not sure what my schedule will be like between now and Easter. So if I don't record an Easter video, and of course my Easter's after 1 week after um, Catholic or Protestant Easter, because I'm Greek Orthodox. Um, if I don't get an opportunity to wish you a happy Easter, I certainly will do now. So happy Easter, Jews Pak, to all my viewers. And have a great one, guys. Roll low. Yeah, roll low. Or YOLO. Yeah. And I hope you didn't mind Mikey playing the guitar here. He's doing pretty good. Take care.